Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Take 10 with Shane and Michelle, an entertaining view of life's magical moments in Florida and beyond. And it's Golden Bachelor night. And can you believe, Shane, it is episode number 3 already.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like, it's going pretty fast, already.
Love is still in the air, but let me tell you, things are heating up. And there's getting a little bit drama. But before we get into that, Shane, we have a guest tonight. We told everybody that we wanted folks to join in the conversation, and we have Sophie from New Jersey joining Shane and I tonight. And Sophie, maybe you could just introduce yourself and do you have any Bachelor history? And if you do or don't, why did you decide to tune into the Golden Bachelor?
Sure. Yes. So I am a reality TV junkie. I've been watching The Bachelor probably since I was like 10 years old. I took a little bit of a break at one point, but I got back into it, and I've been following along, like Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise. And then I took a little bit of another break because it was a little much for me a couple seasons ago, but I knew I needed to watch Golden Bachelor because this concept is just amazing. I mean, I really wanted my mom to be on it, actually. So I was like, I have to tune in.
You wanted your mother to be on it. Did you bring that up with her at all? What'd she say?
Well, I watched the first episode with her, and I was telling her, like, I really wanted you to be on the show. And she was like, oh no, like I could never, be making out with someone on television, and I was like, you know what? If it makes you happy, like, he's a great looking guy, I wouldn't be upset about it.
Yeah, his age?
Exactly. Yes. Well, what's your mom's first name?
Patty.
Well, Patty, if you tune into this, they're looking for the Golden Bachelorette. They may have her, actually. They probably have her in the hopper, but that doesn't mean you can't be on the other side of that. So
okay. I may see what I can do to convince her.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, shall we? We're up to episode 3. And obviously the pool of candidates is getting smaller as Gary sorts through his what's important to him. Thoughts, ladies. Episode 3. What stood out?
Well, first off, the poor lady who had to leave because she wanted to be a mom right off the top. So that's
Joan.
I was thinking, oh, there's our Bachelorette, because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. What did you think of Joan, Sophie?
Oh, I loved her. I think she was so poised. I loved like her moment where she wrote that poem, and I think, she was so nervous to get on stage, and then I think loved that vulnerability in her, and I thought that was great. It like broke my heart when she was leaving, and she said that women her age are like invisible. Or she said something.
As you get older, you become more invisible. I actually wrote it down during the episode.
It was really, really poignant. And I actually read an article recently that was, that had a very similar title. And it just, I love that she said that, because I think the point of the show is to really shine light on these women. And I think like she captured so much in that moment. So it was, go Joan. I love you.
Go Joan. I agree with Shane. Let's not count Joan out. Joan, who knows? She may show up again before this season's over. She may show up as the Golden Bachelorette. She's perfect. And I wrote down the name of her poem. Hope I don't vomit on your shoes was the name of her poem. It was. Let's talk about the talent show. I can just imagine some of these women. Now, who knows? It's television, prep time and all that. We'll never know. But can you imagine like thinking, okay, what am I going to do on stage for this man?
I mean, they do something like this every year, I will say.
Oh, do tell. I'm not.
Talent show is like kind of a staple in the Bachelor franchise. But the great thing is that these women are not familiar with the show. Like you can tell they know nothing. And I love that. Like they didn't know what the first impression rose was. They didn't know what a date cart was. So they didn't know a talent show was coming. Someone should have given them a heads up. But yeah, this is a staple like element of any Bachelor show. I have no idea what I would do personally, but
I would Irish dance.
There you go.
What would you do, Shane, for the talent?
The only talent I have is I did sing, but that's too sappy and everything. I'm not a musician.
Do you remember? What's that?
I'm not a musician, so I couldn't play anything, but I could just sing. That's really about it.
You could sing them a love ballad. Somebody did sing, and that was Faith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts about Faith so far? Faith, if we remember from episode 1, plug for everybody, we'll put a link to our first episode up above, but Faith ended up getting the first impression rose. Faith is
she's felt a little lonely too since then. Like
she's an up and down journey. Now he got a little close to her on this last one, but she was a not even part of the picture episode 2 at all.
Yeah, she didn't get a date. I think because he probably wanted to explore other, he felt good about her after the first, week. So probably wanted to give that time to other women. But I have a feeling she'll get a date soon.
I think she's going to get a date, and I think it's going to be really interesting. The one who was very risque, which doesn't surprise me, was Leslie. Leslie, the, ex-girlfriend of Prince back in the day. She was pretty bold. I thought.
And then she tried to calm it down on the backside. Oh, I'm like,
oh yeah, she wasn't fooling anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that she's used to leading with that. Like, I think, she's a beautiful woman. She knows how to dance. Like, I think that's her. It's very much who she is, but she has another side, but I think that's not the side she leads with. So I think she needs to start leading with that a little bit more, because I'm not sure that dance was Jerry's vibe or Gary's vibe.
It was not his vibe. And then she does keep referencing the fact that she has her hearing aid, which I think is funny. And the only other thing before we move, go ahead.
She could turn him down, when she didn't want to listen to the ladies chatter.
That's right. Oh, you know what? Nice segue, Shane. Let's talk about the ladies chat. Teresa.
Yeah.
Teresa.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know, at the end of the show too, that there's like, I don't know if she's just dumb as a block of rocks or she's too smart. She knows what she's doing or whatever. I don't know. As Sophie was saying, these ladies are not used to this. So, she's probably thinking she's talking like she is with your friends when you get off a date and you're excited about talking about it. Like, oh, maybe he liked me. What did you think, Sophie?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a sense of camaraderie for sure. That's typically not present. So I can see that line, like, whereas it's normally very like they keep it pretty private. I think these women feel like more of a sisterhood because of their age and, kind of where they are in their lives. So I don't think, it was interesting drama, but like, I don't think it was coming from a malicious place at all.
I don't either. I agree.
I agree too. I think Teresa was just excited because, they had quite the date. Mm-hmm. In episode 2, if you recall, in the diner.
Flash mob and the whole thing. Like, that was pretty cool.
They were making out a few times. He's kissed her a few times on a few episodes. But he didn't like that cattiness and the drama. Remember when he walked in on them in the bedroom, and he's like, I gotta rethink this now. Of course, it's adding to the TV drama, the fact that she got the last rose. And we all knew she was getting one. I don't think there was any question. But let me tell you let's talk about Kathy. What a hoot and a half. She's something.
She is. She's not on my list.
Oh, she is there. She is going to stick around for the drama as long as they can ride this thing out. I think that's my prediction. Call me crazy. Maybe she's out in episode 4, but for some reason I feel like she's just adding that, she just doesn't hold back. She talks about how yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I just said, I wrote a quote down on my notes. Kathy at the end, she goes, I just run my mouth all the time. It's just how I am.
She's hilarious. I mean, she's really, she's good TV. I don't know that I see like a love connection between her and, but, I mean, I could see her point, like I think Teresa wasn't really getting it. Like, I think she's just so excited and she's not really, this isn't a normal situation. So they're not really sure how to act and how to behave. And I think, I can understand Kathy's side. I think she's hilarious, but I
just want to know, like, don't tell me. I like that. Pick it. Don't
right.
anything.
She doesn't want to know. It's so funny. I think the funniest thing she said, she said at the end, and I don't know, I'm going to tell everybody, make sure you watch it through the credits because,
that was the best part.
That was the best part. She's going to go, Kathy's going home with Susan as long as she stops farting, they said in the house. Yeah. So
do her hair, I think.
Yeah. Right.
Doing her hair and then another girl came across the way and says, oh, no, we had that meat last night. I'm farting too.
You're not going to see that on the regular Bachelor, Bachelorette. I don't think so. Okay, guys, Ellen. Shane and I in episode 2, I talked about Ellen and I thought Ellen had potential and that she could be in the running. What did you think of Ellen? They went on the hot air balloon date.
I think Ellen, from the teaser that they played of the whole season, it does seem like Ellen makes it far. You can kind of get a sense just based on like the frequency that you see them, right?
Yes.
And obviously making out, hugging, all of those things. So I do get the sense that she makes it quite far. I mean, I think Ellen's great. She plays pickleball. I think she's really down to earth.
He said he feels like he can be his self around her more than anybody else, which I thought was interesting. What's that?
I feel like he's probably said that a couple times.
With other people as well, you think? Okay, yeah, I hadn't heard it, but you're probably right. And he's given her a couple of gifts. He gave her the earrings. He gave her the that picture in episode 2.
She got the picture.
I mean, that was just like, it was like something like that had been taken on their wedding day.
It's like the level when you get a picture.
Yeah.
Right. She's only going to want that if she makes it to the end. Otherwise, it's going in the trash.
That's right. Well, and I think, there are, I am trying to not click on any social media that could potentially spoil it. They've been very, of course, closed lips. So we don't know, who he picked in the end, but there have been just a couple of teasers about he's a lot more comfortable with women closer to his age than the young ones. Because Joan was 60. What's that?
I said they're not that young.
Well, if you're 72 and it's a 60-year-old, yes.
I was wondering about that as well. Like, it's like a little morbid, but it's like, if I'm 60, I don't know that I want to be dating someone 12 years older than me, right? Like I would just, not to say it. I mean, I love you, Gary, but
but Gary, I don't want you to kick it too soon.
Right.
But on the flip side for Gary, it's like, well, okay, if I date a 60-year-old woman and I'm in good health, then at least, I know she'll be. So I don't know. I mean, I think Ellen is closest to his age because she's in her 70s. I think they're roughly the same.
Sandra is 75.
Sandra's 75. Sandra is still in it. She was a comedian. Yes.
My jaw was on the floor when they said her age.
Yeah, I know these women. I'm telling you, I hope I look that good. That's all I have to say.
I think we better get real quick to the 2 that left. Would you?
All right, yeah, we could wrap it up with that. So
I think those 2 just
Edith left. Okay.
Yeah,
I was wrong. about Edith. When Edith got out of she was the first
Yeah.
she was the first woman who got out of that vehicle. She had that beautiful gold dress on. She did that confetti. And her elegance, how he looked at her, I said, she is in it. And then she wasn't. They never showed the two of them together. And then who was the second one? They two of them didn't get the rose. Who was the other one?
I kept looking. I don't remember her name. She's
Christina.
blonde.
Her name is Christina. I wrote it down.
Yeah, she wasn't a standout.
No.
She was never really a standout on any of the shows, really. So neither one of those, to me, surprised me.
Okay.
Right.
Well, anything else that stood out? And then we'll wrap it up with who do we have our money on who's absolutely getting a rose next time? I'm curious about that. But
I have to think about who I think. I don't know.
Yeah, of everybody, who do you think is a shoo-in? They're going to make it through episode 4. They're definitely getting a rose. Is there anybody?
Well, I'm turning more towards Kathy now. That was a really good, that was a really good date, and and Teresa's up there too. I think that date was really good.
Kathy is the run her mouth lady.
Oh no, not Kathy then. The one who had the air balloon.
Oh, that's Ellen.
Ellen. Okay, Ellen. Sorry,
yes.
Ellen.
Yeah.
I like Ellen and Teresa still in there for me now. The Port Lucie lady hasn't come up into flavor yet either. So we'll see what happens with her.
April. She is a hoot.
Oh, yes, April. She's fun.
She's fun. Yes. April's might stick around a couple more weeks. You know who's a sleeper? And I think she's going to come out because I also watched the teaser when they show the previews for the next episode. Susan. The hairdresser, Susan. Yeah. Everyone likes Susan. The whole house adores her. And she's solid. She's a solid. She's not drama. She's a hairdresser.
Well, no, she's also a wedding officiant.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's her title. And I actually, I looked her up because I wanted to know if she was the same company that I used. Susan. And then who is the one that she got upset or choked up when she had the wedding gown on last week?
Oh, Nancy.
Yeah.
I like Nancy a lot. I think Nancy, to be honest, of any that is, and Nancy's another 60-year-old. I've been keeping track on as a 56-year-old woman who's not, if they went down to that age, I'm married. They're not going to pick me, but you know what I mean. So she's not that much older than me. She's the 60-year-old that I think's got some staying power. She's got some maturity about her. And let's call it what it is. I think he relates to women who've lost a spouse. I do. Versus being divorced.
I agree.
And we've got both. Yeah. We've got both.
I was going to ask that because I think Ellen is the only one that I got the sense, right? She is divorced, but I think everyone else seems to have lost their spouse.
No, they haven't. Leslie was divorced.
Leslie's divorced. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Faith is divorced.
Okay.
As well. But Teresa lost a spouse, and then Nancy lost a spouse. Joan lost a spouse, and Nancy and Joan are 60 and both lost spouses. So that's young. I mean, that was a young, and it wasn't just yesterday. So it had to be when they were in their 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, Sophie, go ahead.
Sophie,
Jane.
come back anytime. You could come back next week if you'd like.
Yes. Oh, we really appreciate your perspective on it. It's just Shane and I having some fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how many weeks the series is. We're getting ready for the 4th one. I don't know how, not being a Bachelor aficionado, do we now just start getting down to one person not getting a rose, or is it still multiple? I don't know.
Well, they started with fewer people. So they started him with, I think, 22. And typically it's, I think, 32.
Okay. All right. Well, how in the world could somebody sort through 32 people?
I think that they made the right move in making it a small,
I agree with you.
It's overwhelming. And then the episodes are only an hour. So I think that, I don't know if the length of the series is going to be the same, but I know, the episodes are shorter. They seem to be, they're just more watchable, I think, being shorter. And then they started with fewer people. So I think we might have 1 to 2 more weeks of a couple contestants getting
Okay.
offed, and then you'll have just one.
Then it's going to get good, girls. It's going to get
I
good.
know. I was looking to see if it says how many episodes there are.
These, like, don't they do like
8.
overnight
8.
dates?
Okay.
For 8 weeks. All right. My
Because
gosh,
there
we're
are
going to be
8
halfway through it next week.
episodes. 8 episodes of the Golden Bachelor.
Okay.
Oh, total, or 8 more.
That says there are 8 episodes in the Golden Bachelor 3 days ago. So
Okay,
8.
so not 8 episodes to go. There's only 8 total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
8.
we're going to be
So
halfway
we only got
through.
5 more.
It's going
That's
to
a lot.
It's going to get interesting, and we're going to be along for the ride. So, Sophie, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
Shane, I think that's a wrap. So, let's close
All right,
it out.
let's make all your moments magical.
In Florida and beyond, love is in the air, ladies.
Especially
See you
at
next time.
Bachelor, Golden
Bye.
Bachelor. Bye.